We're going to continue with our rolling coverage now in a country where voices of the people matter. There's a new movement. It's taking shape. It's led by Floyd Shivambu and it's facilitated by Mayibuye, iAfrica consultants. Nationwide consultations are currently underway to really just help shape the foundation of a potential new political formation that is happening in South Africa. Now, this grassroots-driven movement, it's built on the principles of public participation, seeking to galvanize support for a new political party that truly represents the people. So perhaps to get a little bit more, we're going to be joined telephonically by Mayubuye National Spokesperson Hlumelo Biko, who will give us a sense of how these consultations are going. Yesterday, the team was in the Eastern Cape. They're engaging with communities, gathering valuable feedback. Today, they're in Midrand, in Johannesburg. They continue with the Roadshow. Now, Hlumelo, I believe you're joining us by telephone. If you can hear me, a very good afternoon, and thank you for your time. I know that it is quite busy at this time, so thank you for chatting to us. But perhaps, given the engagements that's unfolded, can you give us a sense of the mood, the sentiments of the people that you really have been engaging with in the Eastern Cape province, obviously now crisscrossing to Gauteng and Midrand? What's really transpired today as we're speaking?
Good afternoon, Lizelle, and good afternoon to the audience. Today, as you have noted, is a continuation of a process that was begun a few weeks ago by the national convener, Floyd Shivambu. So Mayubuye is consulting with different regions, different communities, different stakeholders. And today we're focused on the youth, and we are meeting with young people from all over the country to get a sense of their specific concerns which are unique to young people in South Africa. We often speak about young people, we speak to young people, but very rarely do we listen to exactly what their program of action is as they imagine it going forward. So we've made a call to leaders from different youth communities and for aspiring leaders in different parts of the country to come to meet us in a venue in Midrand. And we are about to commence shortly an intense discussion. The way these things unfold, Lizelle, is that we really just set the framework for a discussion. Okay. And we spend 4 hours, 5 hours listening to either comments, questions, and or very well-reasoned proposals on what to do for a particular constituency. And it is up to us to be completely attentive to each one of the things that's said. And then we have a session where our leadership then engages with those questions, comments, and or proposals right at the end. But the most unique thing is the listening process.
Okay, thank you for speaking to that. I mean, I actually wanted to ask, what are some of those key issues that have been raised? Perhaps, following your visit in the Eastern Cape, are you able to divulge that? I know that you're still busy in Midrand. But also, if we're looking at, the fragmentation of the opposition in the country, what this, new potential political formation in South Africa also means in terms of addressing those issues, really? Tell us a little bit more about the intention, the vision behind that.
I think the mistake that many political people make is to assume that South African people want the same thing. We've got a massive country, as you know, with very segmented desires at different constituency levels. Just to give you a particular example, we were in the Great Place, which is a head of a kingdom just outside of Mthatha in the Eastern Cape. And in that community, we engaged with the chief, the council, the king, and then asked them to open it up for the community villagers to come in. And we had a robust discussion with them on issues that are important to them, such as bridges, sanitation, irrigation schemes. In that particular community, for instance, the land issue is not the way you'd find it in another part of the country where people are experiencing landlessness. In that part of the country, they have land but don't have means of production. So they're asking for very specific farm tools, irrigation tools, bridges, and that type of stuff which you won't think about if you don't live in that community.
Okay.
And so the reason why we are doing so many of these consultations is that we don't believe that there is one fix for one set of problems. So we're getting a picture as we have gone from Limpopo to Free State to Eastern Cape, and now we're going to Mpumalanga on Monday. Okay. That these countries, these particular regions have very, very different concerns. The citizens themselves, whether they're old or young, it matters because they have different concerns, whether they're professionals or they're farming. So we have to really take our time in this process, and that's what we think Mr. Floyd Shivambu has done really well.
Okay, Hlumelo, I'm running out of time, so I just want to then look at following the key takeaways from these consultations, and obviously looking at the unique context that the issues find themselves in. I mean, what you've alluded to. What's going to then happen in the coming months? What's next then in the steps, in the processes that you'll obviously follow?
So the roadmap for us is to finish all 9 provinces and as many regions within the provinces as we can get to. And then we're going to prepare a report for the country. And that report will be in-depth and in detail, covering all of the things that we've gathered along the way. So you'd be able to read a report as yourself and get a sense of what our country looks like and what its needs look like. After that, we're going into an intense engagement to discuss how to respond politically to the mandate that we are reading from the people. And then we'll present to the South African people our approach going forward. And the character, the shape, and the content of the movement will be clear based on the mandate that we received. And every single place we've gone to has been very consistent to say, we don't want a unique political party. We want a mandate that brings together a whole bunch of different elements, including traditional leaders, civic leaders, and also political parties to form a movement that can take us out of where we are.
Well, Hlumelo, thank you for your time at this hour.